What is really true about the Parthenon's electromagnetic forces? We're talking about the Acropolis of Athens. Plato describes it in Timaeus, the spiritual essence of the universe, the cosmic body or body of the universe, which God created based on geometry and mathematics expressed through the great cosmic laws, creating through the energies, structures, and forms, solids, that are expressed through middle and end speech, and of course. Plato believed that polyhedra are the foundation stones, the most basic and important building blocks in the creation of the universe. Kepler, who was fluent in ancient Greek, by the way, studied the works of ancient Greek scientists and noticed with his later research that the orbits of the planets and the Earth, in this case, write the circumference of specific polyhedra as they rotate. For example, the orbit of Mars inscribes the circumference of a tetrahedron. The orbit of Jupiter, the circumference of a cube. The orbit of Venus, the circumference of the Earth's octahedron, icosahedron, etc. In Pythagoras, regarding the cosmic solids, it's based on the idea that man and the Earth are an ideal mathematical and mechanical model where one affects the behavior of the other, and therefore its evolution at the level of structure. Man lives on Earth, so he is in relation to it, and vice versa. The Earth-man system is an automatic control system whereby one cannot act independently of the other without affecting the whole system. If we now take into account that the Earth has specific points that are directly related to its energy fields, for example, areas with increased electromagnetic activity or capacity, areas that due to potential, due to distance from specific energy centers, heavenly bodies, affect the Earth by creating magnetic fields that affect all the surrounding space and flora, and of course the behavior of the waters of people and animals. The mutual relationship between man and Earth and heavenly bodies may be the key to the gates, both to the stars and from the stars to Earth, or directly into the human brain. Or even probably there lies the cause of many disasters that happen on Earth. The geometry of the spheres that people knew and used since ancient times in their constructions, of course, was not accidental. The perfect geometric construction of the pyramids is not the result of chance, but equally not by chance is the abolition of harmony and geometry in the works left behind by the great ancients. Megalithic monuments, heavy, massive, with anarchic construction, express the personification of the imposition of the force on the cosmic soul and the inferior spiritual quality of the builders. Of course, astrological orientation is a given, but scientific knowledge and engineering are not necessarily elements of spiritually evolved beings. The German scientist H. Schmutz, who wrote the book The Pentahedral Construction of the Earth, gives a detailed description of the pentagon and its properties and, of course, its relationship with our Earth. I kept one sentence from the book, quote, "The energy state of a place is not easily changed, and to achieve this one would have to constantly bombard that place with ultra-high frequency electromagnetic waves. However, changing the energy field in one part of the planet can cause irreparable damage to the balance of the entire ecosystem." Let me read that again. The energy state of a place is not easily changed, and to achieve this one would have to constantly bombard that place with ultra-high frequency electromagnetic waves. I wonder if this has anything to do with CERN as well. However, changing the energy field in one part of the planet can cause irreparable damage to the balance of the entire ecosystem. Recently in Chile, not a random place, a city was moved 3 kilometers, which means they are trying to bring the fatal changes to Earth, which do not bode well. For the sake of the true HARP array antenna system in Alaska, Norway, and even Cyprus, with the consequences of focused energy in the ionosphere. A weapon of mass destruction and influencing frequencies of human mind, with whatever tragic consequences it can bring, with a combined side effect from the contamination of psychoactive neurotoxic substances of barium, aluminum that are regular intervals in atmosphere. In Europe and America and other countries, in order to enable some scientists, researchers to map the Earth's energy flow, currents, and interactions with celestial bodies. It's shameful to use as weapons of mass destruction the very radiation that could be used by medicine to treat insanity, schizophrenia, ectopic states, and other related diseases. Astrology preserves in its symbols the flow of electromagnetic waves in the symbol of Aquarius. And in conclusion, we can see exactly this knowledge of interaction of energy with the temple of the Parthenon of the Acropolis of Athens. First of all, if we examine its dimensions in detail, we will find that within these numbers are expressed universally units of measure, such as the number phi, which is 1.61803, that's the golden number, and pi, 3.14, and epsilon, 2.61, a small number that is approximately equal to phi 2. In addition, let's not forget the two pyramids they form, the extensions of the sacred rock at 835.5 meters, and the extension of the columns of the Parthenon, 1,852 meters. It's known that the pyramid is the most energetic solid shape. In the book of General Kalogerakis, The Testimony of Prometheus, the following is mentioned about the Acropolis. The Parthenon of the Acropolis of Athens is made of pendelic marble. It's very white marble, by the way. The foundation is of porolite. The rock is of limestone. Its shape, the structure, the height, and the shape of the columns constitute a polymorphic electric machine with unimaginable energy results still unknown to us. It may seem strange how our ancestors controlled electricity, because modern technology with its complete ignorance made the problem complex. The multiform energy produced in the rock of the Acropolis could cover a huge part of the energy problem of the city of Athens. Several years ago, this energy contributed to the neutralization of, and listen to this, the neutralization of the multiple contamination of the city's atmosphere. In other words, it neutralizes the pollution. Today, however, it's been neutralized on the one hand due to the removal of the marbles to protect them from the city's pollution, and on the other hand due to the volume of cement and iron in the buildings of Athens. The point of the temple where the golden elephant statue of ivory statue of Athena was placed was the point of greatest accumulation of energy. It was a golden statue. Okay, so I guess it was some kind of a capacitor in the center of the building. By today's standards, the statue was one pole of the accumulating rock, and the other pole was the well at the back of the temple, which is now sealed. Thus, the static electricity of the rock accumulated in the temple created a magnetic field, electroexcitation, force, and ionization of the atmosphere, and these phenomena were enhanced to the maximum by a crystal located in the cave below the temple. The energy was dispersed for the desired purposes with the columns of the temple, which were used as conduits to transport the energy. The underground telluric currents and the electromagnetic field of the earth accumulated in the rock amounts of static electricity, which was enhanced by the shape of the Parthenon and its construction material, pendolite marble, and cosmic energy. The whole structure of the temple today shows that there was a ground for discharge and a vacuum under the temple for the discharge of excess energy. The stone hills around the rock of the Acropolis of Athens are part of the entire energy grid of piezoelectric phenomena, since they were converted into collectors of cosmic energy and terrestrial electricity, at the same time into capacitors of electromagnetic energy. Later, the buildings at the base of the Acropolis rock also accumulated a large amount of energy, Pericles Conservatory with a pyramid roof and theaters. The stability of the constructions was largely due to the dynamic fields created in the connecting points of the columns, and they neutralized displacement tendencies of the vertebrae. In other words, they neutralized earthquakes. We saw that with the pyramids in Egypt as well. It was a way to neutralize ground deformation earthquakes. Now, the whole rock is a very powerful energy space, a space of communication with space, and an exit portal to another dimension centered on the point of intersection of the diagonals of the Parthenon, according to messages from the Olympians. The rock of the Acropolis was a powerful accumulator of universal energy, positive electromagnetic fields, and the temple turned into a capacitor binding it to the shape, construction, and foundation material. The combination of the pendelic marble, the foundation stone, and the limestone rock created piezoelectric and electrostatic charges, and these produced a magnetic field, resulting in an uninterrupted production of electricity that accumulated in the temple. This energy was also used to activate the Gorgonian when required. What is the Gorgonian? I'll look into that later. The accumulated energy was released within the rock caves of the Acropolis or diffused into the surrounding hills and enhanced the charging of the marble collector navels or special crystals, and thus created an extensive energy grid. Due to the morphology of the underground area of the rock, the telluric currents and the cosmic energy, it also functions as an orgone or ether collector. Now, going back to the Gorgonian, I just want to clear this up. The Gorgons, from the Greek word for dreadful, were the three sisters Theo, forceful, Evriali, far-roaming, and Medusa. We know the Medusa with the snake heads, terrifying women with snakes for hair and a gaze that could turn anyone into stone. So, in other words, these entities were able to be activated when required by the energy from the Parthenon. Now, concerning going back to the ether collector, due to the morphology of the rock, in summary, we could say about the rock that it is a source of geomagnetic and cosmic energy that accumulated in the Parthenon capacitor, attraction pole, and transformer of electromagnetic energy and held large loads. The maximum value of the energy field of the rock was located at the point of intersection of the diagonals of the temple and was also transported to a depth where there was a special crystal that strengthened all forms of energy. Today, some may have succeeded in necrosing the Parthenon temple, in other words, dismantling it, doing away with it, by using concrete blocks instead of marble in the columns, but they could not do the same to the rock despite the sealing of the caves, with which they neutralized some positive energy elements. The properties of the rock in combinations, together with various factors, cosmic factors, which we'll mention here in the below, created jets of light, flashes, illuminations, sound phenomena that gave the impression that the rock of the Acropolis not only hosts sanctuaries but also the Olympian gods themselves. The lightning of the Acropolis in the evenings aims at the disappearance of all these phenomena because some have demanded it. As mentioned here above, extending the sides of the rock to a height of 835.5 meters, as well as the columns of the height of 1,852 meters. They form pyramidal solids that assist in the collection of energy. The most interesting point of the Acropolis rock is the caves that exist at its base, the number of which, according to archaeologists, varies between 5 and 10. The strange thing is that there is no description of their depth and what they housed, or nor where they if they were ever explored. Why were the caves sealed and forbidden to approach them for years? How deep were these caves? What were the abnormalities where even today no one talks about them, these caves under the Acropolis? What might be going on under the rock of the Acropolis? Is there a foundation of the Parthenon or not? This very interesting stuff concerning the Acropolis of the Parthenon of Athens. And this I've translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.